Good morning, everybody. You are listening to K-Talk Radio, 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I am your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and our very special guest is Mom Viney. Did I say it right?
Mame Viney.
Okay.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Yes. Now, Mame is an Olympian, which is super cool, because I think maybe... What is the percentage? Like 0.01 of people in the world ever get to be an Olympian?
I know it's very small. I don't know the percentage, but yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy. I mean, it's smaller than you hear these percentages of people that become in the NBA players, right? And it's like 0.01 of college athletes go to professional sports, and becoming an Olympian's even less. I mean.
Yeah, because I mean, not to diminish the NFL players or anything like that. Obviously, they're amazing and stuff, but I just feel like Olympians, we have 4 years for one moment, or for 1 month, and then that's it, you know. So we have to prepare ourselves every single day for that moment.
Absolutely.
But then for football or basketball or whatever, they have it every weekend, and then for their championship they have it once a year.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about basketball or anything like that, so don't quote me on that, but I just feel being an Olympian is a little bit harder, but it's fine.
I know, I totally agree, because that's a great point. I never thought it in that way. Is the professional sports, they get to play every single year. Yeah. So if they have a bad year, next year they improve, they work harder. Mm-hmm. An Olympian has to wait 4 years, and they got age, time against them.
Yeah,
if they get older, then, this might not be where, next year I might not be able to compete.
Right, exactly.
It's not next year, it's 4 years.
Yeah, exactly. Which isn't fun, but
Yeah.
I think that's also the fun, cool part about it. So.
Yes, I agree. I have to admit that I don't watch a lot of TV, but when I do, it's usually every 2 years for 2 weeks straight, which is the summer and winter Olympic Games.
Yeah. yes, I love it. Yeah.
Because I'm addicted to watching greatness, and of course, watching the best athletes in the entire world compete in a 2-week span that they have to wait and prep for 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, that is awesome.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, the mental part of it, the physical part of it, there's so much.
Awesome. Well, let's dive into it, because I want to get into the mental and physical a little bit later, but Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, how you got started in speed skating?
Yeah. So I was born in Ghana, and I was supposed to come here to visit my dad for 2 weeks max. And I was 5 years old, and I told my dad that I didn't want to go back to Ghana. I wanted to stay in America because I loved it so much and all that fun stuff. And he made plans to for me to stay here permanently. At first he thought that I was just kidding. And she doesn't know what she's talking about. Blah blah blah.
Right.
But yeah, so after he made plans for me to stay here, we were living in Maryland at the time, but my dad was working in Reston, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
And so there's a rink maybe 2 minutes away from his work.
Oh, nice.
And so after daycare or something like that, we were driving down the road to go straight to to go to the rink.
Yes.
And we saw a sign that said "Learn to skate," and this is for figure skating.
Yeah.
And so my dad was I was in the back seat doing whatever, and my dad asked me. No, I was 5 years old, so I literally had no idea what he was talking about. He was "Oh, do you want to try this out?" And I'm "Yes, Daddy, whatever you say. I'll do it. I'm excited." And so then my dad signed me up and all that fun stuff. And
awesome.
I think 6 months later I was doing, so this was I said, for figure skating.
Yeah.
And so my figure skating coach, who's also a speed skating coach, told my dad "Oh, your daughter's going too fast for figure skating. She should try speed skating." And so my dad was "I don't know what that is, but yeah, sure, let's go for it. Let's do it." And so my dad and I went to DC Ice in DC for I don't even know how long, up until I was probably 10 or something.
Yeah.
Every Saturday morning, and I would just skate to my heart's content. And then I got invited to go train with like a club team, Dominion. And then I started training there for about like 7-ish years, and then I came to Utah and started skating with the national team. So,
gotcha. And how old were you when you came to Utah?
17.
17. Yeah. Wow. By yourself with your dad?
No, by myself.
Wow.
Yeah. So and thankfully there was a family that took me in up in Park City.
Oh, nice.
So I lived with them up until the games.
Got it.
After the games, I like moved out and went to college and stuff. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. How did that get orchestrated? Just through the world of figure skating someone, or speed skating someone knew someone in Park City?
Basically that family, the Sorensens, they came to Virginia to skate with our club. Because their daughter's also a speed skater. And so they, like, my dad and them, like, or me and my dad and them, like, really got along, and my dad was like, oh, do you want her to be at your house for this much, for this amount of time? And they're like, yeah, bring her over. And so I consider them like part of my family, because they've like done so much for me and my dad, so very grateful.
Very cool, very cool. And were you graduated from high school at this point? 17, you might have still been in high school, but...
Yeah, I was still in high school.
Okay.
I think I was in my senior year. Yeah, I was just starting my senior year, and so that was like a little hard because I wanted to obviously like go to school with my friends and stuff, but like at the same time I wanted to go to the Olympian.
Yeah.
So I had to choose one or the other, and I obviously chose the games.
Yeah.
And so my school understood, and so I just like started doing like classes online. So I took 2 classes. The only 2 classes I needed to graduate was like math. No, it was history and writing.
Got it.
And so I finished that, and yeah, it was fun. My teachers were slightly like, I feel like they were kind of just like, wait, no way, is she like actually training for the game?
Yeah.
And that stuff, like that's insane, blah blah. And then as soon as I made the games, or as soon as I like, what's it called? Qualified for the games, they were like, oh, okay, this is actually real.
Yeah.
You don't have to do schoolwork for a month. And I was like, yes, thank you. So, yeah, it was fun.
That is awesome. That's so cool. It's so funny. I wanted to ask J.R. Selski and Jonathan Garcia both this same question, but I forgot. and it just came to me.
Yeah.
And does speed skating speed translate to also being a fast sprinter? Because I was curious to see if JR and Jonathan were fast runners.
Yeah.
Or not really. I mean, your legs still have to move fast.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Because I feel like for like track and stuff, there's definitely like a form that you have to do, and speed skaters like just do not have that. Because like I'm pretty sure for like track you have to like have your body straight up and stuff like that. But then for like skating you have to like hunch your back.
Sure.
And
squat the whole time.
Yeah, and squat the whole time.
So your legs are probably just more powerful.
Yeah, than like actually like fast.
Yeah.
Obviously we have to have like this fast twitch to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for sure, 100%, any track star would like completely demolish us if we ever like ran that. So I cannot compare myself to any of the track athletes because no thanks. I hate running. I do not like it. So
gotcha. Excellent. Okay, so perfect. When did you realize then that the Olympics was in your destiny and this was not just like a competitive sport that you were going to do in your youth?
Yeah. I think that was my first juniors. After qualifying for my first juniors, before that, I was just kind of like doing skating just to like do it, like to have something to do, like with friends, whatever. But then when I qualified for my first juniors, even though I broke my ankle during the qualifications, so I didn't skate the actual competition. At juniors, but when I made the team, I was just like, man, this is amazing. Like I really want to do this. I want to keep doing this forever and ever, or as long as my body can hold.
Sure.
And then I don't know. I feel like kind of just like as I kept traveling, I was like, okay, this is my next goal. This is my next goal. This is my next goal. Like. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some people are just like, oh, when I was like 5 years old, I've always wanted to go to the Olympics and stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like for me, I was just kind of like, it was kind of like a step-by-step thing. Like, obviously, like, the Olympics were like a huge thing. I was like, oh, I wanted to go. But like, it was never in my sights until probably like 2014, 2015, maybe 2016. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm sorry.
No worries. And if you don't mind me asking, 2016, how young were you?
I was 16.
16.
Yeah,
okay, so you're 16 when you're like, this is something that I want to do at the Olympic level.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
really cool.
Yeah, and also like the thing is, I was watching the Olympics for Rio, I think, for at like Simone Biles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, like I was just like thinking like, what if I made it to the games? Like, what if I went to the Olympics and
that's so cool.
Like, whether or not I like did well or not, or whether or not I did well, I feel like I would just be super, super happy with the fact that I even like, went. And then I like started getting chills, and I'm just like, okay, now I know that I have to go, or like I have to at least try to go. So
that's very cool. That's very cool. Because honestly, so. In 2002, I watched the Winter Olympics that were actually here in Salt Lake City, and they reintroduced the sport of skeleton.
Oh wow!
So, because it hadn't been in an Olympic sport for 50 years, right?
Really?
And so they reintroduced it for the first time that 2002. And I was living in New York City at the time, and then I remember watching after the Olympics. Actually, I came here to Salt Lake to visit my parents, and we were watching the Olympics. Then after the local news came on, and then it said on the local news, due to the skeleton being a new sport, we're looking for athletes that might want to compete in the 2006 Torino Olympics. Come try out. So I ended up going back to New York, flew to Park City like 3-4 weeks later for the tryouts. Trained in Park City for a month to try and go to the Torino Olympics. We were not a very good nation as far as skeleton, myself included. Only one American made that Olympic team.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and didn't even place, right? But I know the dream to like I want to try, but you've succeeded. I didn't succeed.
Okay. That's okay. It's okay. At least you tried, though. I feel like most people don't even like have the opportunity to do so. So
right.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah. I can't say what if, right? Because I tried.
Exactly. Like no regrets, though. So.
Exactly. And it was a fun experience for a full month during camp. I trained up in Park City every day. I had to eat right, train right. It was like kind of fun to be like competitive, like really try to be a competitive athlete, right? Even though it didn't happen, but versus just a weekend athlete, you know?
That's still pretty cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so you moved to Park City. You moved to Salt Lake City and live in Park City. Just out of curiosity, does every athlete need to come here to go to the games, or?
No, but it's recommended. More just like because there's like faster skaters who mainly train here. So like the national team, for example. Yeah, but like obviously if you want to go and like train back home or in Virginia or wherever you're originally from, then go ahead and like do it. But because like Salt Lake is like where most of the fastest people are like based, and it's just like normal for people to come here and like start training.
Got it. And then you can really gauge yourself with your competitors, your teammates.
Exactly. Yeah. And then
pushed.
they get faster and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, because if you're skating by yourself at home, you might think, man, I'm fast.
Exactly.
Then you compete,
come here and you're like, but then there's also that option where like you can, so some people do this, like there's an option where you can come for like the summer or something and then train here and then just go back to wherever you're from and then keep training. And then come here for like 2 weeks before an actual competition, just like train here just to like you said, like gauge yourself and stuff. But yeah.
It reminds me of like boxing. I used to be an amateur boxer.
Ooh.
And you'd go to training camp, right? And usually it was high altitude places, so Salt Lake's probably perfect, right, for you guys training.
Salt Lake is the prime because like you said, altitude and stuff like that. I don't do very well with altitude. I hate it because I cannot breathe. But it's really good because then if you travel to a different country for like a competition, then you have that like more oxygen or whatever scientific thing that goes into your body because you live in altitude.
Right. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And then obviously you were in Park City, so you had even more altitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, during the games it was great. So I don't know. I might just like do that again.
Yeah.
Like after like during the games year, like the trials year, I just might go back and like. Hopefully they'll take me. I'm sure they will, but yeah.
And isn't there science that says sleeping in high altitude can be just as advantageous as training in high altitude?
Yeah. Sleeping in altitude is very, very good. So it's cool because so the people that I lived with, the Sorensens, they so the dad, Robert Sorensen, he is like very, very smart, and like also Melissa is too. But Robert is super smart and like very scientific about everything, and like he has like this he was telling me about like how like the altitude is really good for your breathing, and like they have a dog too, and he was telling me how like the dog Max, he would like he's able to like live longer or something like that because he lives in altitude compared to like other dogs, and so I was just like, this is so cool. I don't exactly remember what he said because my brain's not as smart as his, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Awesome, excellent. Well, that's fantastic. Very, very cool. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you've got a nightmare story that you're going to share with us. And then hopefully there was maybe a lesson that was learned from the nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, stay tuned, guys. You're not going to want to go anywhere. We will be right back. Awesome. Very cool, very cool. Those were great answers. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then after the nightmare, we'll jump into mindset, because I love picking your guys' brain on mindset. Right?
Okay, yeah. I have a lot to say about that too.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, I really want to get my own like podcast and stuff because like I said, I like talking.
Yeah, you should.
So yeah, USS. So US Speed Skating. Is wanting me to like do a podcast like in the next like month or so. Yeah. And I jumped up the opportunity. I was like, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Love it. Like, oh yeah.
You'd be great at it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and so basically like I'll have like different athletes talking about themselves and like basically what you're doing to me, and I think it's super cool because
that would be cool.
Yeah, because like obviously like me and my teammates are close and stuff, but like we just we don't get to the nit and gritty and stuff like that because like we just talk about skating or we just talk about whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are back. You are listening to K-Talk Radio 1640 AM. This is the show, Utah Home Sweet Home. I'm your host, Yoshi Shiraki, and our very special guest is Mom May Bimey.
Yes. Okay,
the Olympian. We've got an Olympian today in the studio sharing her story, which is rare because, as we said before, just less than I don't remember 0.01% of the world that ever gets to be an Olympian. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So you've got a nightmare story that you have prepared for us. Please, why don't you go ahead and dive into it?
Okay. So this happened. When did it happen? So I think it was right before the games. Yeah, it was before the game or before the trials for Olympic trials. Okay. And we had international skaters skating with us, and we were doing just like some sort of drill, and the drill was basically like just passing on the outside and like getting to the front. Gotcha. And so me and so it's like the girls, and so me and two other people or something like that, and like one of the international skaters was skating behind us. Gotcha. And they were getting ready to pass, and they were setting up to pass, and like I don't even know like what happened or how it happened, but basically like we were skating, and the next thing I know, like my mouth and my lip is bleeding, and my lip and my chin is bleeding. And then people like afterwards, people are like telling me like basically what had happened was Hannah, that's what her name is, Hannah. She was passing me on the outside, and then she fell, and her blade literally snapped in half. Oh my gosh! And a chunk of it like sliced my lip and my chin. Holy cow! Yeah.
It just shot up,
Yeah, wow. It just like snapped in half, and then a chunk of it, like it was a pretty big chunk. I was like, holy cow! A chunk of it like sliced my my lip and my chin. And I'm like very, very surprised that it like didn't like slice my eyes or anything.
Seriously.
Because at that point, at that point, I like didn't have any glasses on. I didn't wear any protective eyewear. Yeah. I was just like, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, I started wearing eyeglasses, like anything to like protect me from something like that.
No kidding.
Yeah. So I was off the ice for about like a week, just like healing and stuff, and I got stitches. I don't know how many stitches I got. The surgeon said that he put like it was like 3 layers of stitches.
Holy cow, deep.
Yeah, so it was very deep, like so deep that you can like see my fat.
Oh my gosh.
The fat on my chin. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So like I have a permanent scar on my chin. My lip, you can't see it because it's just like it like healed and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so like I have a battle scar, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually it's funny because I think I was like laughing during the whole thing. I don't know. I was just like kind of like, oh, okay, cool, you know, this happened, blah blah. Yeah. And I was just like laughing about it and just like going about my day and stuff. Like, wow, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's my nightmare story. And the lesson I learned was just to
wear glasses.
Yeah, wear glasses because. Like speed skating, you never know what happens, you know, and like you can like I think someone told me that like someone like got like their eye taken out or something that because of that, because like someone fell in front of them and
I can see that.
Horrible stuff, but so fun times.
Wow, so you didn't fall though, right?
No.
You were just still skating and out of nowhere this thing hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And then like I think I felt it. I don't really remember it, but I think I like felt something, and I just like held my my chin and my lip, and then I like looked down and there was like blood on my gloves. I was like, oh, wow, I'm bleeding.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so.
No camera footage?
No, I don't think so. No, because it was only the girls skating.
Yeah.
And the guys were like in the middle, and they like obviously saw what happened, and I was just like, oh wow, okay, cool. Yeah.
Now, was Hannah an international skater?
Yeah, she was from Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's from Belgium, and right now she's skating with the Netherlands.
I got it.
So yeah, but yeah, they're amazing people. They're super nice. I love their team and stuff. I just think like what happened was really funny, and like obviously harm was done, but like no like
major harm.
Yeah, exactly. Where I can where I physically have exactly. So I'm not mad about it. Things happen.
Oh so. Complete accident. You should next time you see her go, I can't believe you did that to
me. Remember?
Yeah.
Or like if we're like in a race together or something, you like, so you remember when you like did that to me?
Yeah.
You should like let me win this.
Yeah.
Just like a little sorry or like a little gift to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Was she okay in her little crash?
Oh yeah. She was fine. Because I like it was just like super surprising. Because like I don't think it's ever been happened that like a blade like snaps in half.
Seriously.
So it's just like she must have just been pushing super strong.
Yeah. What'd she crash into? The wall?
Yeah. She crashed into the pads, and like thank goodness too, because the pad system here is very like. So like if you fall, like it like what's it called? Embraces you.
Oh, absorbs it kind of.
Yeah, so like it's unless like it's a really, really bad crash with like one or like 2 or more people.
Yeah.
Then like it's pretty bad, but depending on like how you fall. But if you like fall in like a okay way, then there's like not a chance that you'll get hurt.
Right. Did you ever see the footage of J.R. Selski? Did you know how he got?
Yeah. I think it was at like the Olympic trials or something. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 2014.
I think.
Yeah, I don't remember because I was like super young. But I, like afterwards, I saw it and I was just like, blood gushing everywhere.
Yeah.
It was horrible. Yeah. I'm still so amazed that he was able to skate after that.
Incredible.
Yeah, I know for a fact that if that happened to me, I would probably quit because I'm just like, I can't. I'm too scared. But yeah, like he's amazing. He's an amazing skater, so I'm not surprised. He has a very, very strong mental. So I'm honestly not surprised that he kept skating. But
because he came back and medaled in the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah, he was like, oh, nothing can take me.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, you go.
Slice your leg open and then go medal.
Right. We love a good comeback story, though.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so you just mentioned that JR's got a strong mind, and that's where I want to go. I love dissecting the mindset of high caliber athletes because you guys are believers, you guys are winners, you guys typically don't let doubt creep into your head, and if it is, it's very little, and then you bump it right back out.
Right, yeah.
What kind of things do you personally do to keep your mindset strong at a world-class level? I mean, you know, this isn't like collegiate level, this isn't high school level, this is world-class, elite level.
Yeah.
You know, competing against the best in the world, and when you step on that ice, you know that you've got to beat the best in the world.
Yeah.
and you are, and they're thinking the same to you, of course, right?
Oh man, I hope so. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So the past year, actually, yeah, I've had like a lot of a lot of trouble with like mental stuff because. So like last season was like a really, really bad season for me. I didn't perform as well as I wanted to. And so I just like couldn't get out of that like rut that I was in.
Yeah.
So I just had to like figure out how do I say it? It's like not blame everything on everyone else or everything else except for me. And I needed to figure out that like, okay, yeah, like this happened, but how can I like change it for myself, you know?
Right.
And not blame the thing that happened on like that thing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, totally.
So I started like, so how to say this? I'm a very like emotional person. Like I like to like if I'm happy, I'm very, very happy. You can see it. But if I'm like mad or like pissed at the world, I'm just you can also see that.
Yeah.
And so like I had to like figure out how to like express my feelings to other people, but also in a way that's like, okay guys, like I'm not feeling very good right now, and like please understand that. And like give me the space that I need, and then like talk my feelings out, and then when I do talk my feelings out, then I'm able to like skate better and not like be mad at everyone else or whatever.
Right.
So one thing that I feel like has been working a lot for me is basically like creating like a little like room in my brain. And I really love this because I just think it's like really great. But so basically I create this room, and this room is very, very detailed. So it has like my favorite like rug, or like my favorite couch. Like the couch is like very specific color, the rug is a very specific color, and I have like my drinks on one side, and I have like my favorite drinks, and I have like a cat or like a dog that I really, really want or like I love or whatever.
Sure.
And I have it like on my in my lap, and like I'm watching TV, and the TV has a few of my favorite races that I feel like I've done very, very well in.
Nice.
And like it goes over and over and over again. And so like during practice, when I feel like I'm not doing that great, like I go back to that room, or during a competition when I feel very, very nervous, I go into that room and just like, okay, calm down, just think about that room, just like whatever happens, and you're gonna learn from whatever happens during that race, you know? So yeah, I feel like during this last year, I feel like I've grown a lot into like a mentally stronger person, because I've had these resources that like told me about the room, or have told me that I need to express my feelings a little better, or have told me that it's okay to feel these feelings, but just like express them to people. So I think I've experienced like mental like a mental thing differently than other like athletes.
Sure.
Because I don't know, I just like I said, like last season was not a great season. I just like didn't do very well, and I've never felt like this before. And like during that time, I've never felt like I was like hopeless kind of thing.
Right.
And so I just needed to like bring myself back and like stop blaming other people, and also just like take responsibility for like my feelings, if that makes any sense.
No, absolutely. What were you able to dissect in your head? Possible reasons why you feel you weren't as good last year, this year. What?
Yeah. So like, like part of the reason was just like the environment that I was in. Like I just needed a new environment, mainly because I just like missed home and I wanted to go home.
Yes.
And see my dad, and like at that point I hadn't seen my dad I think for like, I don't know, like 4 or like 5 months or something like that. So I like was obviously like missing him, and then just like the just like the coaching and stuff like that. Like I wasn't like feeling like it was like getting me anywhere, and I like didn't know how to express that to my coach, and so it was just like a lot of like different things that happened, and but now it's like better, and now I'm like more expressive towards my coach, and like I'm able to like express towards her like, oh, like this isn't working for me, like let's try to figure something out so that I'm able to be the best that I can be. So
very cool. Okay, nice. Do you listen to any kind of, I don't know, have you heard of Tony Robbins?
No.
Okay, because you're really young. So
No, I haven't.
I'm going to introduce you to Tony Robbins. I'm going to say, do you listen to anybody like Tony Robbins? So Tony Robbins has helped people from Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the list goes on, and he's what he calls a mind programmer. He's not a motivator. People go, oh, Tony Robbins the motivator. And he's like, I'm not a motivator. I reprogram your mind. Andre Agassi, that's probably, have you heard of him? He's a tennis player, was a great tennis player.
I think I have. Yeah.
Then went in a funk, couldn't perform, and then came back and won. And got with Tony Robbins. And Andre Agassi was dating or married, I don't remember, Brooke Shields, who was a model at the time, and an actress. And she told Andre, you should see Tony Robbins. And the story's like, he goes, I don't need anyone to motivate me. And she's like, he's not a motivator. And then anyways, he hired Tony Robbins and came back and just started winning again. Right?
Wow.
So I'll introduce you. I listen to him personally, and it just in the car, when I'm driving around, I'll throw on some Tony Robbins, and it just gets my mind right.
Yeah. Oh wow, it's like a little audiobook or like a podcast.
Yeah. I'm sure he has a podcast. I just usually search his name on YouTube, and there's millions of videos, and I don't really watch them because I'm driving.
Yeah.
I just play.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And usually it's just talking, right?
Yeah.
He's either on stage, and he fills up like arenas.
Oh, wow.
Tens of thousands of people will go see him like if it was a concert for 3 days where he just, reprograms people's mind.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, I'll text you when we're done.
Thank you.
You bet. Hopefully it's helpful. It helps me.
I love getting any type of help to like make my mindset better. Like my dad's always taught me to be like a very avid learner, and a very like avid listener to people. So I love listening as much as I like talking. I love to listen, and I love to like learn to like be a not different person, but like be a more like grow as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you heard of David Goggins?
No.
Okay. I'll text you him as well.
Okay, awesome.
He's a Navy SEAL who's fought in battle, and and he's got a potty mouth though, so I don't listen to David Goggins when my son's in the car.
I see. That's okay.
Yes. Okay. All right. So I am curious because through our engagement of coordinating having you on the show today. Not surprised, being an Olympian, you train quite a bit. And so what does the average day look like for an Olympian, for you? Let's talk to you, of course, but this is going to give us an idea of what an average day looks like for an Olympian. Obviously, you're still young. You're going to the University of Utah, right?
Right, yeah.
So what does that look like?
Oh, man. Okay, let's say that I wasn't on the show on Fridays.
Okay.
So I would go to practice. Okay, so I wake up at like 7:30.
Okay.
7:30 to 8.
I'm
supposed to leave the house at 8, but I sometimes wake up at 8 o'clock. And then I get to the rink at like 8:30, 8:25-ish.
Yeah.
And then I warm up until we warm up until like 9:15 or like 9 o'clock, and so then we get ready, and so that takes about like 15 minutes, and then we get on the ice. We get on the ice from like 9:15 to around like 10:30 to 11.
Okay.
And then, so I have class from 11:40 to 12:40 12:40 or something like that, or like 1 o'clock. I don't remember. I just go to class until it's finished. But yeah, so I go to class so I leave the rink, depending on whether or not we have like dryland or something.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do dryland on Fridays because I have class like 40 minutes before or after practice ends.
Okay.
Yeah, so I go to class, and so that's like takes like around like 30 minute drive. So I arrive around like 11:30, 11:40, and I go to class from whatever time to whatever time, and then I come back and I either do we either have like weights or another ice session, or like a session that we do on our own, which is like a bike ride or like a run or something. And then I would usually do like something extra just like to like make myself feel like a little better about my training, and so I just like do something extra. And then I go back. So around this, it's around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then the rest of the time I just like do homework.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's fun times. And then especially when we have like double ice, like I would probably be back home around like 5 or 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Just depending on what time like practice ended.
Yeah.
If it ended at 4:30 exactly, then I would probably be home around 6. But if it ended at like 4 o'clock, I'd probably be home at like 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's twice a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And when you say go run or go bike, are you literally riding a bike on the streets?
Oh.
Or on
So I do stationary bike because I cannot ride a bike on the road because I will 100% die. Like actually 100% die because I don't know, I just get too scared.
Sure.
To be in the road, and I know how like some people drive, and I'm just like,
they're texting. They're not driving and looking out the window. They're looking down at their phone.
Right, exactly. I'm just like I cannot like have myself on there like on the road, and I honestly feel like riding on the stationary bike is a little bit harder than riding on the road, so I just do it on the stationary.
Nice. And as far as running, is that treadmill or is that sprints or?
So it can be either like sprinting or running around the track. I don't use a treadmill because I just feel like it's a little boring. Like it's just like staying in one place for like 30 minutes or an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
So for me, I just like either like to run around the track, even though that can be repetitive or whatever.
Sure.
I like it a little bit better. Like it's different scenery every single corner.
Yeah.
And then for sprints, like I like doing sprints, but only to a certain extent because I get tired after like 2 sets of the sprints. And then afterwards, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't breathe. But yeah.
Got it. And do you just do that at the U?
So I do it up at the rink.
Oh.
So at the rink. Last season I would do it at the U because like I would like go up to the U almost every day for class.
Yeah.
And then when I was living at the dorms, like there's a gym in every single dormitory.
Yeah.
Down in the basement, so I would just like use that. So.
Got it. And there's a track then at the rink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a track. So there's the short track rink, and then there's the hockey rink, and then there's the long track rink around both the hockey rink, and then outside of that is the running track.
Oh. Didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty big.
How far will you run? A mile, 2 miles, 2 miles?
Around 2 miles, 2.5 miles.
Got it.
Yeah, I'm not a very good runner, like I said, and I don't really like running. So like my fastest like mile I think is like 7:50 or something.
That's still pretty fast.
After that I am dead. I'm dying. But yeah, so like my regular like pacing mile or whatever is like 10 minutes, 9 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not that fast, but I like it. It's nice and controlled. So.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool. We had Stone Azarcon, who's the safety for the University of Utah. Tyrone Smith, who's the receiver for the University of Utah. On separate occasions, they were guests on the show, but I got to go watch them train. They just went to Olympus High School. They do training outside of their training with their team. Because they're both trying to get faster.
Yeah, better, yeah.
But they're all sprints. I was going to say, if you do a lot of sprinting, I should put you guys together because then you can train with them.
You know, actually, because I'm trying to work more on my starts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because because I've heard that football players are like very like they sometimes have like a track background.
Yes, yeah.
And so I feel like having like, even though I know that I would get beat by any track athlete, like I would love to like learn about like their form and stuff and like translate that onto the ice, because I do feel like like there is like a certain like amount of like knee or like technique or stuff knee or technique and stuff like that goes onto like starts and stuff that would make me faster. So I would totally be down for that.
Yeah, I'll have to connect the three of you guys. I know the Pac-12 just decided to have a full season, so I don't know how much training they're going to do outside of training. This was like before the season started. They would go to practice, and I was so impressed. They'd go to practice, and then they would go and practice themselves again.
Wow!
And it was fun. We got to follow them around and watch them train. But I'll put that. I'll get you guys connected, because if they do go to they go to Highland, Skyline, and Olympus typically.
Oh, okay.
And use those tracks.
Oh, I know where. I used to live close to Skyline, I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's like maybe like 10 minutes away from the U, right?
Yeah.
So I used to live around there. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, so now I'm excited to hear this next question, the answer to this next question. Walk me through, we just went through what the average day looks like. Now let's talk about Olympic Day. What does Olympic Day look like? What country was it that you competed in?
Korea.
Korea. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So you're waking up in Korea. I don't know what time. Walk me through what that day looks like, what you're eating, when you're waking up, mental preparation, because you're going to compete at the highest level that day.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. So obviously like, this is my first Olympics, so I didn't know what was going on. But when I heard that we usually compete in the mornings, and then like it goes into the afternoon. Yep. But they were like, we'll have to compete in the evening, so around like 6 or 7 o'clock. Okay. And then like it'll go up until the night, and I was just like, oh, this is so weird. But anyway.
Is that for television reasons? Yeah. So we can watch it live here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think like if it would be the opposite, like if you guys were to watch it around like 6 o'clock p.m., then we would have to race around like 3 a.m. And
Got it.
Like,
yeah.
not ideal. So they like switched it for like our benefit, which I think makes sense, Yeah. But yeah, so let me go through what happened like for the 500 or whatever. Okay. So I woke up. I don't really remember all of it, but I remember like the general. Yeah. So we had our own rooms because we had 3 girls, and so it was kind of like a suite. It was really nice. Yeah. So obviously, there was like a bigger room, and then there was 2 rooms that were not connected to each other, but like they're next to each other. Yeah, sure. And then there was like a kitchen, and then like a common room, like a common space. Yeah. So me and the 2 other girls would wake up, and we went to, I think I don't remember if we had practice that morning. I feel like we would have practice that morning. Yeah. Just like a very small like quick like dry land thing, just to like get our legs moving and stuff. Right. And so we go do that practice, and then we go to breakfast, and the breakfast was so good. Oh my gosh, I love Asian food so much. Like, side note, we went to Japan during one of our last year for a competition. Yeah, and I fell in love. I was like, the food here is so good. Like, it's amazing. And the 7-Eleven, oh my gosh, if I could, I would buy my own Japanese 7-Eleven and like bring it here because it was so good. That's awesome. But yeah, so we would go get breakfast, and then we would just like chill or like go and like hang out like by ourselves, or just like I don't know, just like chill by ourselves. Yeah. And then we would have like a meeting just about like what's gonna happen and all that fun stuff, and then so like the rink was I think like 30 minutes ish away from the Olympic Village that we were staying at. Yeah. And so we would go there, and then we would just like warm up and do what we needed to do. This was like maybe like 2 or 3 hours before our races started.
Has butterflies kicked in yet? Not yet.
No.
No, not yet.
No, like unfortunately for me, butterflies start kicking in like 2 minutes before my race.
Okay.
And I'm just like, are you serious? Like, we had like 24 hours to get this over with, and you decide to come in right now. Thank you. Yeah, and so I think at this point, like, I was just like, frick, like, I'm actually here. Like, I am at the Olympics right now. Like, this is insane. Like, I've been here for what, like, almost like 2 weeks, or like, not 2 weeks, like a week or like 3 days or so. And I'm still just like, starstruck. And I'm just like, oh my God.
And how young were you again?
I was 18.
18, my gosh.
Yeah, I was 18. I was so young. But yeah, so we would get there and we would warm up and like do what we needed to do. And then like when like an hour or so before my race, like that's when I like get into that zone of like, okay, I gotta like actually start paying attention to like my body and my mind, and I gotta like figure out like how not to be as nervous as I am right now. And yes, there are like thousands of people in this arena right now and all that fun stuff, and also
cameras.
Cameras all over. Like, it was insane. Like,
and for Korea, just so listeners know, speed skating is like baseball here in America.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
their most, like, it's intense.
It's crazy.
Yes.
Like, kids, like, I don't even know. Like, they work so hard when they're like children.
Yes.
And I also feel like that's like the downside of like Korean like sports, because they work super, super hard.
Right.
But then like they burn out by the time they're like 20, 21.
Yeah, sure.
So like they do super well during like when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
But then when they're like in their 20s, they start to like dwindle down a little bit, but regardless, they're still amazing.
Right.
And like you said, Korea is like baseball, soccer, like it's like like football and basketball. It's like insanely big. Like they get so much money from being a speed skater in Korea. So like you can only imagine how filled. Like I'm pretty sure every single seat was filled in that arena, because like speed skating is like a big sport, but like short track in general is like an even bigger sport. Right. Because I was just like, wow, like this is the perfect place to be a speed skater in Korea for the Olympics.
Right.
Like, it was insane. And yeah, so and the thing is, I had a Korean in my race, my 500 race for the first time. And I was just like, frick! No, this is gonna be so bad. But Anthony, who was my coach, who was my previous coach, he was just like, use that to your advantage, because you know, like you'll hear when she's gonna pass, because the Korean crowd will like start cheering and stuff, and so just like use that to your advantage.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I was like, yes, and I used that to my advantage, and I made it out of the first round, and I went into the second round. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I was a nervous wreck. I was so nervous. Oh my gosh. Imagine. I was just, because Anthony, he was saying how, like, he's never seen me as nervous as I was. And he was saying how, like, I was just, like, you know, like a deer, headlights in a deer or whatever.
Deer headlight, sure.
Yeah, I was just like, And he's just like, Mama, you gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. Like, you cannot be like this. I was like, Anthony, I don't know. I'm so scared. He's like, what are you doing? But yeah, it was such a great experience. And as soon as I left, I was like, I want to come back. I'm gonna come back 100%.
Yeah.
And so I knew that I had like a lot of things to work on, and I feel like I'm like getting better at them.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for it to come in 2022. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Is it where's it supposed to be?
Beijing.
Beijing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
Yeah. And we were supposed to have is it September? Yeah. So we're supposed to have our competition actually like either this weekend or or next weekend, like our trials for World Cups.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to have a test event in Beijing for like the games and stuff, but
coronavirus.
Yeah. Everyone's pretty sure that they're gonna cancel World Cups up until January.
Got it.
Which sucks, but it is what it is. I totally understand, because like we gotta keep each other safe, you know. So.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Got it. And then after the race, party pizza? No, not yet. You got another day to compete, right?
Yeah, but like after my last race, my 1500, because they had a McDonald's in the cafeteria for the athletes.
Yeah.
And I went all out. I was eating McDonald's like every day. It was pretty bad. Like I think to a point where Lin, who was also there, like I think she was like the assistant coach. She was just like, "Mommy, you gotta stop. You cannot be eating this much." I was just like, "Lynn, but this is so good. This is so good." And it's funny too because right after the games, I had to go to Poland for juniors.
Okay.
And I did really, really well. I got first for my 500, and I was super excited and super happy about it. But yeah, like I was kind of worried that like all the McDonald's that I ate would like very much slow me down, but
sure.
I think it like made me faster.
Oh, good.
So I'm convinced that McDonald's like makes me faster. But I haven't tried it out yet, or I haven't tried it out after that because I was just like, I think I ate so much that like I got sick of McDonald's. And I was just like, because you know how like if you eat a lot of like one thing, it's just like, so.
Got it. Okay. So, actually, really quickly, how clean is your diet, and for how long do you get it clean before, you know?
Yeah. So, my diet is not as clean. It's not as clean as like most people would think. I feel like. Yeah. Like I don't eat like very like specific things or anything like that. I just kind of eat like whatever I feel, you know, at that point. And like I do eat like fairly healthy. Like today I had eggs and avocado and toast. So like, you know, like pretty healthy, nice healthy fats and stuff. Yeah. But leading like a week or two before a competition, that is when I just like completely stopped eating like sugary stuff.
Got it.
Just don't drink any like drinks or like I love juice. I don't really drink soda that much, but juice is like my kryptonite. Yeah. Gotcha. Orange juice especially. So like I don't drink orange juice because for me like sugar makes my legs a little heavy. Yeah. So I just like don't eat any or I just don't drink any sugar or eat any sugar. And I stay away from like chips and stuff like that. Like so the thing that is also my kryptonite is fries. I love fries. Got it. So much. So good. So I like stay away from that. But yeah, during like the 1 or 2 weeks before my competition, I like try to stay very, very clean. I eat very healthy. Just to get my body like nice and light and ready for like my competition that's gonna happen. Very cool. Do you like Crown Burger fries? They're my favorite fries. Oh, I've never had those before. You've never had Crown Burger fries? No. Have you had Crown Burger? No. No? You've seen it though, right? No. No? Oh my gosh. No, I stick to. So I love Popeyes, and I used to really like Chick-fil-A, but I just kind of like I'm staying a little bit away from them because they're a little too good for me. But yeah, so like Popeyes is so good. I love it so much. So yeah. Well, we'll have to introduce you to Crown Burger fries. Okay. They've won contests for their fries. Really? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So it's a local family-owned burger joint, right? Oh, yeah? And there's I don't know, there's maybe 10 of them around Salt Lake, but they're only local. They haven't left Utah to the best of my knowledge. Oh wow. But delicious food. Oh, man. Really good food. Ooh. They're always packed. Dang. Oh man, that's you should try it after the Olympic Games. Yeah, because I think that's a great idea. Yeah. Oh man, because I know for a fact that if I go once, I'm hooked. Yes. So I'll go after the games. Okay. All right. Well, we've got about 60 seconds left, and I like asking this question. Do you have any tips or advice for the listeners out there, young or old, who have a massive dream that they think they want to pursue, but, you know, maybe it's too big for them to even start to take action? Yeah, so I feel like for that, like, you gotta go for it. Like, I like to live my life without, like, any regrets. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, there was a moment last year where I wanted to quit skating because I just, like, was super, like, down and all that. But I knew that if I quit, I would regret not going to the games. And I just think, like, live your life with no regrets whatsoever. Like, whether or not you're 50 years old or you're 10 years old, like, just go for it. And you're, like, whether you like it or not, like, you'll know that, oh yes, like, I tried it out and I loved it, or I didn't like it, but I still tried it out. And I think that's, like, the best way to live your life, like, just going for it and seeing what happens, because, like, you only have one life. And there's, like, you can't like die. Super morbid, I'm super sorry, but you can't, like, pass away and say, oh, I'm really sad, or I regret not doing this because this and this and this. But just make time for yourself, and, like, make time for the things that you love, because, like I said, you only have one life. And hashtag no regrets.
I love it. And you don't know if it ends tomorrow.
Exactly. Like, the way 2020 is going right now. Just, like, go for it right now. Like, just be like, oh yes, like, make plans for it, and just go for it. And
I love it. They interviewed a lot of people that were laying in their deathbeds, and they asked them what was their biggest regrets. And, you know, it was a series of answers, but no one ever said, you know, I regret not working more. Right? No one ever said that. Everyone was, I regret working too much and not spending time with my family. I regret not doing this because of work. Nobody ever said, I wish I would have worked more. Right?
Exactly. So, because, like, work is going to be there. The economy, the whatever, your job is still, to a certain extent, it's still going to be there. But, like, you still, like, you have, like I said, you have to, like, take time for yourself and take time for your family, because, like, they're all you got, and you're all you got. So,
awesome.
Love yourself.
Well, thank you so much again for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And how can people follow you?
Oh, yes. Follow me on Instagram at biney.biney. That's it. That's only Instagram. That's it. I don't use Twitter, so you don't have to follow me on that. But follow me on Instagram. Please follow me on Instagram.
Yes, and 2022 Beijing Olympics. Look out for Mama Biney.
Yes.
She will be there. All right. Well, thanks so much again. I really appreciate you being a guest.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and I hope everybody out there has a spectacular rest of the day.